By simply holding a few meme coins, could you make an easy 5x, 10x or even more in the coming few weeks? I'm going to answer that question in this video and show you some of the Solana meme coins that seem to have the best setups at the moment. So we're going to start first of all on Dex Screener. It's a really good place to compile lists of meme coins and monitor them, and then we can literally have a look through charts and see which ones have the best setups. So dexscreener.com, I'll link it below. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, because I'm always making meme coin related content, especially any new strategies that are working well at the moment. Now, with these meme coins, what we're going to do is we're going to add some filters. And here what we want to do in the top left is click on Solana as a platform, because that's what we'll use. And for DEXs, we want to click on Radium. So click Radium, click Save. And then market cap, we want to have a minimum of we want established coins, so we need at least, let's say, 4 million as an absolute minimum. High side, we could put, let's say, 800 million. The only one we're really missing there is Fartcoin, but that's already kind of ran quite a bit, so I'll probably stay away. And then for pair age, we're looking at generally older coins. So I've put 7200 there, but we can actually increase that. So we'll increase that to 9200 hours and we'll reduce that to 1400, just so we could catch any slightly newer ones. So this is generally for older, more established meme coins. I'm not interested in anything in the last few days, because that's not what we're looking for here with these swing trades. 24-hour transactions, you can put, say, 1100. Again, this is ruling out any rugs or scams in terms of liquidity pools, and click apply. And then we have a list. And then what we want to do is we want to sort by market cap highest to lowest, because these are the largest coins. So if you click on that a couple of times, you'll get the main coins here. Click here on where it says has profile, and you'll get a lot of the ones you would expect, like AI16Z. If you scroll a little bit further down, you'll get Griffin, Ava, we've just discussed. But this leads to an important point. First of all, have a look at the market caps of some of these. Very low on these slightly better coins. So just understand, especially if you're new to the space, in the last 12 months there are literally millions, and that's not an exaggeration, there were literally millions of coins launched, and out of all of these, most of the millions of coins have completely failed and nobody's interested in them anymore. All we're looking for are the select few. So out of millions, we're picking literally 4 or 5, that's it. And these are the ones, and all we want on these ones are a few basic things. What we want on these ones are, number one, it needs to have socials, decent socials, team still trying, they're still pushing out content. Maybe if it's related to some sort of tech, that they're still releasing new tech, especially some of the AI meme coins had that. So we need to look for that. And we need to see if there's a good chart setup. So we need to have a look at that too. And kind of included in the chart setup, but as a separate indicator, is volume. So is there actually new volume coming in? Are there people buying and selling it that weren't before, who are now suddenly interested and are looking at it as a potential? So basically, if everybody else looks at your coin and thinks, yes, it can also do a 5x and it's already starting to move up, then you get this self-fulfilling prophecy, and then you get some moves. But remember, these are not going to be the moves we've seen in the last 12 months. So don't kid yourselves about that. We don't care about that. We just want to park our Solana. Let's say you have 10 Sol. We want to park it somewhere where in a few weeks, let's see if it turns into 20 Sol, 30 Sol. That's it. Just very realistic. We're not trying to turn 10 Sol into millions and stuff like that. Can't do that anymore on meme coins, unfortunately. It's not the market for it right now. It's just way too saturated, way too many coins, and way too little liquidity. And actually the major trends, so the major kind of Google trends, worldwide trends of interest in meme coins hasn't gone up in the last few weeks. Although people think it hasn't really. The only uptick has actually been altcoins. Now, some of the bigger meme coins are altcoins, of course, but anyway, let's get onto some charts. We'll kick off with Ava. Always with these charts, you always want to zoom out. So click on D here where it says daily chart, and you can see, like all the other meme coins, it got completely destroyed from a high of 300 million all the way down to the lows of 15 million. Now, you're probably wondering, Sajad, well, meme coins are dead. Well, generally they are, but remember, we're only talking about a few odd ones. And then in the few odd ones, like Ava, I think I mentioned before, either on Twitter or here on a video anyway, and it was only at, like 30, 40 million then. It's slowly rising, but very slowly. But it is at 70 million now. So off the lows of, let's say, 20, it's already done a 3x actually. These are good multiples. So 10 Sol would have been now 30 Sol. So these are already moving and can move a lot more. But what did I say earlier in the video? Don't just rely on price going up a little bit. Look, you see price moved up a little bit here, a little bit here. Don't rely on that alone. First of all, check socials. Well-established account. This is a meme coin I know reasonably well when we had the AI meme coin craze. And you can see here 9,000 posts on Twitter. And what are you seeing? Last few days, posting. lots and lots of posted. They might be doing new tech stuff like that. You can research all of that stuff. Don't lose sleep over it. Just tick the box that says, yes, they're literally continuing as they were before and continuing to build, and they're getting some volume coming in. But how do we check those other two things? Chart setups. Now we go on to an hourly chart. And what you want to find here off the lows, very, very easy. You just want to make sure it's not a corrective pattern. All you want is a move off and a higher low. And that's why where I spotted it, and I was like, yeah, let me buy into that and just hold for a little while. Now you don't know if this turns into a three-way move. It could stop here at 50 million, which is resistance, and then fall off. Didn't do that. We got a higher low. So 4 higher lows in a row. It's a good sign. Now this can all still be corrective, meaning I don't think a lot of these coins are going to go and make new highs, in my personal opinion. But I'm not trading that. I don't care about that. Because if, like, this is a very important resistance level here at 150. If this is just a corrective bounce up to there and then this meme coin dies off forever, think about it. From 15 million to 150, that's a 10x maximum. But even here at 70, if we still get momentum, then that's still a 2x from here. But obviously it's moved already a little bit. So you'll be a little bit later on this. And what's the other tick box? So that's chart setup. What's the final tick box? Volume. Look, completely dead volume. Nobody interested at all. And all of this time, it's had decent volume. And I can read it off here as well. 24 hours on deck screen at 2.5 million. So what do? Go straight here onto Axiom Pro. I'll link it in the description below. And you can look to trade this particular coin. You can buy this coin if the setup makes sense, but you always have to think about your risk reward, and more on that a little bit later in this video. Next one, FOG. You can see I've already drawn lines all over this, but we don't need to check the Twitter. We already know that's active. Next one we're going to cover is FOG, FWOG. Again, a well-known Solana meme coin. Click on Twitter. Established, lots of recent posts, lots of engagement actually on these posts. So established community, well-known coin, fine. But go into on daily, and we can see like where was the actual top, like miles away, like 700 million. We're way, way below that. So remember, at best, these are bounces. What we're trying to do is off these, get a bounce, then it dies. Now, obviously, there's a very, 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 very small chance that some of these run and make all-time new highs, but it's extremely unlikely. It's 99.9% more likely that that's never going to happen. However, from the lows now, if there is volume, there's a good chance you can get a decent bounce. And remember, that's all we're trading. So again, go into an hourly, look at the setup. This one's a little bit different, and this is how you kind of spot the difference. We had a move off the lows, fine, higher low, great. So we got that, and you could trade that, and that would be a nice 2x. And now we're pulling back here, fine. But this is a better one for a setup because we're getting a very healthy pullback from 67 all the way down. How do we check pullbacks? Fib. So these 4 lines here, fib retracement, swing low to swing high, look for the 618 bounce. So if it bounces at 45 million, absolute line in the sand about 39, 40 million. Doesn't bounce there, very unlikely. Already is not looking great in my opinion because it's gone into the territory of this first swing high. Don't want price to go into there too much. You want it to support now. Literally it needs to turn around now and go for its next leg higher, and then we get a nice uptrend forming. Doesn't do that, I'm not really interested. And I choke this all down to a little bounce, up to 70 and fail, basically. And now let's have a look at volume. Looking below, there's a little bit more volume, but not that much compared to what was going on before. So it's a little bit more, not that much more. So FOG doesn't look as good. So you could give these scores, like Ava was looking way stronger. So I might give that an 8 out of 10. And FOG I might give something like a 5 or 6 out of 10. But remember, this is relative to all the other Solana meme coins that are literally 0 out of 10s. Not even 1, 0. Don't touch them with a barge pole. Next one, GOAT. Kind of similar to, well, both the ones we saw before. We see a little bit more volume. Don't need to check Twitter. We know that's established. It's a well-known coin. Already ran 35 to 100. Normal pullback just under 100, so you'd expect that. Again, look at the fib levels, look for it to hold, look for it to pull for another leg. So if it comes back, get some support here, at that high there, 65 million, that would be a nice place. So always look for the first tip, the first top. That was a resistance first, that becomes support. It becomes support. Bounce there, move, might get a couple of multiples, maybe more. But the good thing is, if you're in profit and it's running, it doesn't matter how many multiples it is, you just keep making profit. And we don't know how long this bounce is going to last. No one knows for sure. But again, later in the video, I'll show you exactly how you might be able to spot that a little bit better. Next one, Griffin. This one, the chart I don't like as much in terms of setup, only because We've got the volume there. You can see it very, very clearly. Can you see nothing volume and then lots? It was one big boom. So I think it was, they released some new information and stuff like that. So remember, this is a tech AI meme coin. So they released some new tech or did some new updates. Don't want to go into all the details. You can research that yourself on their Twitter. But then it's been kind of sideways. But again, it's sideways. It hasn't faded. Usually when meme coins don't fade, not always a good sign, but this is kind of uptrend and holding. And what am I seeing at the bottom? People are piling into this. And if I have a look at the volume here, 3.5 million last 24 hours. So they are piling in. So people are holding, hoping this could do a bit of a run. So you got a lot of people there with the opportunity to sell. They didn't sell. And remember this again, way, way off all-time highs. We're not trading to get it to all-time highs. We're trading to make some multiples. That's all we're doing. We're working hard with our 10, 20 Solana, whatever you have, and trying to, it's better than just holding cash that's doing nothing. But remember, only very, very, very few meme coins. And another way you can deal with this, so let's just copy the contract here. Again, Axiom, link in description below and pin comments if you wanted to use this. But here, another way you can deal with this is you can buy here. So you can literally buy, limit order, or you could buy it at market. So limit just basically means you can tell it where you want to buy. So you could basically move this line and decide, look, I want to buy it here at this support, etc. Like I've discussed earlier in the video. Or you could just buy it at market, but have a stop loss. So when it comes to sell, limit, you decide, well, at this level, I want to sell, and then this is your limit order target, and you're like, if it gets below, let's say 50 million, doesn't support that 49 million, it automatically sells. So you know your risk. So people like meme coins really risky. They're unbelievably risky, but you manage your risk. Manage risk as a trader. You must manage your risk, and if you do that, you'll be okay. So you know that the maximum I can lose in this, let's say you did a 5 SOL position, you can lose 1 SOL. Okay, fine, not the end of the world, move on with your life. However, if it works out, that 5 SOL might turn into 10, maybe more if you buy it and you hold. Now these are swing trades, smaller trades. These are where you'll hold for weeks. These coins are moving very, very slowly, but at the same time nicely. They're maintaining a little bit of uptrend. Next one, Chillguy. Again, I was watching very, very closely off the lows here when we got to 30 million because I saw volume coming in and it's still moving up nicely. So far, so good with a nice uptrend. Again, manage expectations, nothing crazy. We just want a pullback. Another way is you can have sometimes trend line pullback. So this trend line, if you see a bounce on here, it seems to be acting as good support because we tested it once, twice, thrice. So if we go back again, that might be good support. Nice bounce trade, just buy and hold. Put your stop loss just below the trend line. Very little risk we're taking. Reward, not bad. Not bad trade. Now, there's a few more as well, but you can look through the list yourself. There's another one, Vine as well. Not as keen on this. You're very much based on what the team kind of puts out and what they tweet and stuff like that. Don't like it. I don't like the inorganic looking price action. I don't like the fact that anytime you get a tiny spike, we just get massive dumps. People selling into them. Don't like it. As a community, it's not really a community coin. I much more prefer things like Forg, maybe Goat, Ava, stuff like that. But anyway, it's there. And another one, again, not that keen on, but I have to note it, is Peanut. This was a very, very popular coin in Q4. Everybody, including myself, talking about it. It was trending, did incredible. 2 billion, I think it was 2.5 at the peak. And it's doing okay, holding okay. Keep an eye on it. So how do you know what's going to happen with these coins long term? How do you know when you might sell? So let's talk about that. Have a look at Solana and all of the other altcoins. This is the key. So with these, let me just remove these indicators. So what are we looking for? I'm just gonna zoom out a little bit. So we'll go to a 4 hourly. So obviously a lot of the altcoins dumped and we're getting this same bounce as we're seeing on some of the meme coins. Now, if this bounce fails, if this proves to be all corrective, I mean, some of the altcoins are weak, obviously. Things like AVAX and stuff looking much, much weaker. But if it fails and it's confirmed that this is just 3-wave move up, then we're going to take out these lows. So if all altcoins are going to dump and Bitcoin's going to dump, meme coins will not survive. Like, on no world do they survive. Even these few that I've discussed as an example, they will go down, and they will go down a lot. So use your stop losses, manage your risk. Seeing any signs of a dump, just get out. Now, if it's a normal pullback, 5, 10, 20% on meme coins is nothing. But the main one, because it's Solana meme coins we're talking about, is Solana. So with this particular move, I think Solana's looked better. SUI, Solana, and a few of the other altcoins have looked all right. But again, it's like meme coins. There's like 5 or 6 all right ones. The rest are complete rubbish that you want to stay away from. But so far, Solana is holding up all right. Clear uptrend. I don't like how it's moved up. I prefer 1, 2, and then a nice clean 3rd wave move. but it's okay, you know, or it could be choppy off the lows and stuff like that. Now, I'm not going to discuss in this video where I think Solana's going to go. I'll discuss that in another kind of altcoin update. I think most of the altcoins is, personally, I think it's just a bounce because they were so severely sold off. You can see there, we literally went straight line from 300 to nothing to like 90. So obviously we're going to get a bounce at some point, but we'll see how it goes. And if Solana maintains, you get a bit of a pullback and stuff, but then push, and even if it only does one more little leg to like 180 and then completely fails, just in this little leg, that's enough for the meme coins that we've talked about here. And some of the other ones, look at Dex Screener, make your own lists, but it's enough for them to do a little bit more of a rally, I think. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. If there's any particular meme coins you think I should cover in a next video that you think are holding strength, because like I said, there's literally just handfuls. But if there's genuine ones you think have a good chart pattern, they've got volume coming in, they've got some new updates coming up, please mention them. It'd be good for everybody to see, and I'll discuss them in the next video. Thanks for listening.